Greetings, FCBC Walnut family and friends. Today, I just want to give you a short encouragement from my little makeshift studio here in my car. Just to encourage us through this season where I think all of us are wrestling with daily anxiety, daily fear, and we're learning how to live through this isolation. I think it's natural for us because each and every day we wake up and we're anxious about watching or reading the news. The economy is hurting. Our hearts are breaking as people are losing their jobs. Parents are wrestling with school at home. Parents who are not used to homeschooling. Kids are restless. And I think when it comes to isolation, churches have shut down. Libraries are closed. We're no longer allowed to gather in social spaces outside of essential meetings. And so a lot of what we were created for, which is community, has been taken away from us. So naturally, I think there's a lot of anxiety, fear, and wrestling with isolation. I think the first thing we need to do each and every day is accept this as our new normal. It's not normal, but this is our new normal, where many are telecommuting now. And there are those who have to go to work: first responders, medical professionals, grocery store workers, other government workers for essential things like delivery or garbage collection. I mean, these people have to go to work, so we need to thank God for them, and we need to thank them if we're able to. But the first thing we got to realize is that we need to surrender all of our plans to God. That's a simple thing. We're anxious a lot of times because people have plans for weddings that will be canceled because of a large gathering. You had plans for vacation. You had plans to sell your house. You had business plans. We're used to planning and then executing our plans to the best of our ability. But right now, because the situation continues to change so rapidly, we just surrender our plans to God and say, God, what is your will? I just want to follow your will for this day. And then the second thing I think is after accepting this as the new normal, then we begin to calm down and say, okay, Lord, give me my daily bread. Many of you probably have supplies and food, but if you don't, you're probably going to the grocery store and you're probably worried about long lines or whether or not supplies will be there. And I think that's where you just trust God and say, God, thank you for providing daily bread. Will you provide me my daily bread? Just like we pray in the Lord's Prayer. And whatever the Lord provides for you, it's there. And for any other needs that you have, we pray that the church would reach out to each other and we would begin to provide for each other where there are basic essentials that we don't have. And after we ask God for our daily bread, we begin to seek to love other people. You see, once we, again, calm down and accept that this is our new normal, there's less anxiety. And then we begin to deal with this challenge of isolation. So each and every day, I would encourage you to exhort and encourage one Christian, one fellow believer, someone in your church or another believer by sending a text, going on a video chat, some way just to let them know how are you doing. You ask them how they're doing, how you can pray for them, and just encourage them, exhort them, right? And continue that community life of Christian love. And then think of loving your neighbor. So this could be a stranger where you don't know if they believe in Jesus or not, or this could be your neighbor, your next door neighbor. I know a lot of us are in some type of quarantine, or we're quarantining ourselves, or we're distancing ourselves. And so but if you need to go to the grocery store, like yesterday I went to the grocery store. I went to 2 stores looking for some items I couldn't find. And I try to thank the grocery store workers, and I think they appreciated it. I mean, they responded normally, but I said, hey, thank you so much for being here for us. So just doing something, saying something encouraging to love a neighbor. Maybe email a nurse or a medical professional that you know and thank them for being on the front line. Maybe email a school teacher that you know, and the schools have closed down now, but thank them for all the times that they've been there. Email each other, encourage each other, share resources with each other. So this is how we're going to get through this together. We pray and we hope that that either Jesus returns soon, or that God provides a way to eradicate COVID-19, or that he ordains through common grace that the medical professionals will come out with a vaccine. But we need to prepare ourselves to live as Christians, knowing that this might not go away. So we need to balance both hope in the kingdom of Christ with realistic living that we need to get to each day. So take one day at a time, and we hope to see you soon. The pastors at FCBC Walnut love you more than you know.